Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm coding a crappy Minecraft mod. So I'm thinking of making this a little bit of a series just because it's something fun in terms of coding as well as Minecraft, and doing different types of just crappy mods, something super simple. So if you guys have any suggestions on what you want to see next, drop it in the comments, and then the most liked one or the one that I find I can do kind of within a couple hour period, I'll go ahead and do it from a next video and then also show you how to do it. So this video is going to be kind of in a two-parter, just showing off the mod and then also just how to code it as well. And with that being said, if you could please leave a like on the video, it really helps a small channel like mine grow in terms of the YouTube algorithm, and then also consider subscribing. We're super close to 1,000 right now, and I'd love to hit that milestone before kind of summer officially starts. So hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this, as well as coding, computer science, and PC content. And with that being said, let's hop into the video. Also, the crappy Minecraft mod idea was inspired by It's Jim here on YouTube. Go check him out. Alright, so you've got some bread and some sticks.
Yeah.
Go ahead and craft yourself a sword with the bread. I need a stick.
Oh, dude.
What do you think? Baguette blade?
7 attack. That's what a diamond sword is.
Okay.
That's sick.
Go ahead and make yourself some armor too with the bread.
No shot, actually.
Just try out a helmet, maybe a chest plate.
How many? All of them?
All of them. Go ahead and do all of them.
Oh. I'm not good at fast crafting shit. And
As you can tell, I spent a lot of time on the textures.
Jesus. Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it iron?
Yeah, I'll get to that in the explanation part of the video. But
Oh, okay, maybe.
what do you think?
Damn.
Some nice bread armor. Do you think this is a pretty stupid Minecraft mod?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely viable.
Hey guys, so I'm hopping into the coding portion of this. It's fairly easy, actually, just using Java, and I'm using the IDE called IntelliJ. It is a free download if you are a student or if you just want the community version, so feel free to go ahead and pick that up if you do want it. Otherwise, other ones like Eclipse or NetBeans or really any Java IDE will work for this. And in doing so, all you have to do is, if I'm using IntelliJ, all we have to do is just, if we go into configure and we go into plugins pretty much, we're able to look for anything really. So if you look up Minecraft development, we can just go ahead and install that as a plugin. And basically what that allows us to do is just, if we're creating a new project, we can literally just click on Minecraft and it'll do whatever we want. So we're just using Java 12.0.2. It really doesn't matter, but I think Java 12 is kind of just like the most widely used type of thing. And we just go ahead and choose bucket or spigot. You can use really anything, forge mod, whatever. And then just go ahead and click next and keep going. One other thing you might need is Maven. And I'll leave a link to how to install that as well. It's just kind of what builds the application and makes sure that it's able to package and stuff like that. It's a Maven dependency. I don't know too much about it, but if you do know more, feel free to leave it in the comments. But I am using Maven, so if you're having some troubles on building or packaging, you might just need to throw that into your pom.xml file. And if you don't have one as well, you can just create one with whatever. I'll have my project link in the description, so if you just want to copy and paste over things that may not work or that you see that you don't have, just feel free to go ahead and do so. And once we've made a new project and we chose Spigot, basically, it gives us this little main folder. So kind of for the structure, at least, we have our src or source, we have our main, we have our Java, and we have our whatever we've named the file pretty much. We've got our main file, which is the one that it made for us pretty much. So in here, I didn't add anything. All we have to do is just import this, and then we've got access to all of these different, .get server, .plugin manager, stuff like that. And then it makes it for us, so on disable and on enable. And then all we have to do here is, if we wanted to do it the way that I'm doing, we just go ahead and in this bread file, go ahead and click new and click Java class, and we can name it whatever we'd want. For instance, I named mine bread because it's kind of just a bread. And then I do also have one that I named join event, and this basically handles the texture pack. And for our bread file, pretty much, I just have I have different methods for all of these, but I do have one public method, which is our public static void init, which is basically called over here. So class name .init, and in that I call all of these private methods, which is our chest plate, leggings, stuff like that. And there's multiple ways of doing this. You could honestly throw all of this private stuff into the on enable, but I just did this just because it's a little bit cleaner, and I'm sure there's various ways of doing this as well, but this is just what I did. So if you're just following along with this and you wanted to do it by yourself, you can just kind of copy and paste and change things as you go. And then I also left some comments here. Basically all it is just pretty much getters and setters, and basically all we do is just use item stack and then just name it whatever we want, and then new item stack, and then set it to whatever material that we want to make kind of a base out of. So even if it is a custom item, it's using kind of a base, so we can even change it to whatever, you know, like a dragon head if we wanted to, or literally anything. In this case I'm just using an iron chest plate, and then the amount, so if you were making like golden apples for instance, you could do 64 or, you know, whatever. And then this line of code, kind of just copy and paste again. Item meta, we named this whatever we'd want again. And then .bchest is what we named that new item stack, and then get item meta. And then after we've done that, we have got our chest plate meta, our name pretty much. So we can set display name to whatever we want to see once we craft that name. So when it's in the crafting bench and in our inventory pretty much, we're going to see bread chest plate, or, you know, as you've seen, we get blade. We can name it whatever we want just so it automatically has a name. So for that instance, we're just naming it bread chest plate. And then again, we're just setting item meta to whatever name we've named this. And then same thing for our crafting recipe. So for our crafting recipe, we can also make that custom by using shared recipe, and we just name it whatever we want. So I named it recipe in this instance. And then we just go ahead and do new shared recipe namespace key.minecraft, and then bread underscore chestplate. And this is basically what you're going to use for a /give or /I command pretty much, if you want to do, you know, give whatever this new item is. And we also just set it to bread chestplate. And then for the crafting recipe shape, all it is just your basically 9x9 crafting bench, crafting table recipe pretty much. So as you can see here, B equals the bread in the crafting bench, and then X is the spaces. Maybe it's a little bit easier to see in the leggings one, but basically you can name it whatever you want, literally any character pretty much. I'd probably just stick to letters just so there isn't any confusion in the code, but since we're using B, we're just going to use B and then space, and then another B, and then you kind of just set it up to whatever the crafting recipe you'd want it to. So a chest plate, or normal chest plate, looks like this. So we're going to head and do that. And since we used B, we just use recipe, which is the thing that we named up here, to set ingredient as our key. And we use B as our key in this instance, and then we just use it for material dot whatever we want. So we can name it pretty much, you know, we have stick, bread, acacia boat, you name it pretty much whatever you want that crafting recipe to be. And then this will just go ahead and add recipe. And then after you've done with that, I mean, pretty much this is really all you need. You just go ahead and take this and call it in this init method. Or if you are just doing all of this, you can kind of just copy this, and then you can just throw it on your on enable pretty much. So go ahead and import that. As you can see, it imported everything, and then pretty much this is all you really need. You don't need another class or anything, but in our case, we're just going to leave it like that. And as you can see for the sword again, you just use whatever you want. Change the item stack material to diamond sword, and then name it whatever you'd like. Crafting recipe, as you can see here, we're using two different things. So B, B, and then S, as in bread, and then 2 bread and 1 stick. And again, these are just spaces, so you just use the space bar and call it a day. And just really quick on this, if you did want to add your own custom texture pack, because I'm sure you do, once the player logs into the server, this event handler will go ahead and find whatever texture pack that you uploaded basically. So you can upload it to Google Drive, OneDrive, literally any kind of file sharing service. Just make sure you share the file with anybody with the link pretty much. And you're going to get this URL, which I have copied and pasted into here. And one thing that you may not have is equals 1. It might be equals 0, and you might not have even an equals whatever. But just on the end of it, you want to do equals 1 just so that if it's equals 0, it's going to open up in a new page, or a new tab at least. but having this equals 1 will make it so that it doesn't get redirected pretty much, and then it just downloads automatically. That's pretty much all there is to it. All you have to do is just event.getPlayer.setResourcePack, and then the file. And in our main, pretty much just to call that, you do this .getServer, .getPluginManager, .registerEvents, and the new join event, which is what our file is named here, and then plugin.this. For getting the textures on the different items, all you have to do is just make a little folder called, I have custom models pretty much. And I'll also leave just a link in the description if you want to just download this and kind of import your own. So one problem with mine is that you've seen that the Iron Armor texture on the player doesn't seem to change. I couldn't figure that out, and I'm guessing it's probably because I'm on 1.16.5 or kind of just the latest snapshot. So if I did 1.12, I would have been able to work around that. If you guys do have any ideas or stuff on how to get it to work on 1.16, just let me know in the comments and I'll definitely try those out. But basically all it is just an assets folder, Minecraft, and you've got 2 different ones in here called models and textures. So in here, I just have nothing, I guess. And then in textures, I just have kind of all of this stuff. So everything that you see in the crafting bench is pretty much what this is. And I've tried different things with the JSON file and things like that to make it work. However, this is just the only way that I figured out how to work for this scenario, at least, since I'm still pretty new to kind of all this stuff. So I just named it, iron boots, diamond sword. So I mean, any diamond sword really is gonna have this, but really, if you're just messing around and not doing this, as a professional plugin type of thing, you can go ahead and just do this, and all you have to do is just kind of rename them and it should be all set.